Okay, so now it's the next step is to put a balsa skin on the wing. Now the only really critical thing about that is to remove things like this pin here. So and pin everything on the outside where you know there's not going to be any skin. So I'm going to remove that and then find the balsa. The kit includes 12 of these balsa boards. They're 2.5 mm thick, and 3 of them will cover the wing, provided we cut off a triangle here and place it here. This just about covers it. We have to be very careful, but this is very easy. Tony tells us in the instructions just to glue down one here and then cut the third one in so that it fits between them. I don't like doing that because when you start sanding things, where there is something underneath the balsa, you will sand a lot, and when there's nothing underneath it, you will sand very little. The result is that there will be sort of troughs above the ribs, resulting in what Dave Platt calls the starved horse look, which is not very nice. So we will construct the skin elsewhere. You will notice that I've got something written on my balsa. I usually do this when I buy balsa. I like to measure it, weigh it. I put it on a scale, and I found out that this board here is 52 grams. This one is 10 grams lighter, or 42, and this one is in between, 44. Now, when working with balsa of different thicknesses, it's best to use the specific weight of the material. I actually may not be using the correct terms, but what I do is I find the volume of the balsa that I have and divide the volume into the weight. These are 220 centimeters long, they are 10 centimeters wide, and they are 0.25 centimeters thick. Multiplying these numbers is easy. 220 times 10 times 0.25 gives you 305 cubic centimeters. So if this one weighs 44 grams per 305 cubic centimeters, 1 cubic centimeter would be 0.14 grams. Anything under a gram will float, as the specific weight of water is 1. Anything over a gram will sink. Now, after I've done this, I can split the boards into 4 groups and arrange them such that I get just about the same weight in all of them. So each bunch of 3 will weigh the same as the next bunch of 3, or very, very similar. In that way, I will distribute the weight along the wings. Now then, I'm going to put the lightest at the front edge, because a light balsa will bend easily, and I will put the heaviest at the back, because heavy balsa does not bend easily. and the one in between will be in the middle. Let's arrange the boards like they would be on the wing. That's the relative position of the three balsa boards. Now I can mark this one, and here I should cut, and it's also a good idea to put 2 lines of pencil to show that this is the position they should be in. Now the corner we cut from this one will cover this. Here is my setup for making balsa skins. I use medium density CA glue, and sandpaper. Now first we're going to glue together the 2 front front boards. There's a line here where they should align, and unfortunately they don't seem to fit together. There's a sort of bow here in this one. So here I have some sandpaper glued to an aluminium rod, or 3x3 aluminium something, and I just slide the balsa along until it becomes straight. You can take this one too. And there we are, it fits together perfectly. So now we use packing tape, nothing but packing tape. It will not stick to CA glue. So now these 2 boards are in effect hinged together. So let's turn them over and open the hinge. Now we can put in some CA glue. Just a nice bead of glue. Piece of tissue, and we mop up the excess. And now here comes the secret. Sand across the joint. If there's any gap, the dust produced by the sandpaper will fill it up, and the joint will become invisible. There we are. Now we turn it over, take off the tape, and again, because the glue on this side is still wet, we use the sandpaper. There you are. These are now firmly stuck together. Now we're going to cut this part from the skin, and I have this aluminium ruler and some blocks of steel. There we are. Now this one comes in like this, and this will fit like that, and we can shorten it. Now because sorry, because this works on the principle of the hinge, this method of gluing together, it's best to put this corner first. There we go. Now we can fit the last board in place. Doesn't quite oh yes, perfect. There we are. Now we have a skin that will fit the wing. The only thing we need to do now is to sand it completely smooth. You don't want to watch me do that, but that's what I'm going to do next. Here's the wing, and here's the skin we just made, and if we put it on, you see that it fits exactly. But before we glue it down, it's a good idea to take a long piece of sandpaper on a stick and sand the whole wing, in case there's anything there that could make for bumps in the skin. There shouldn't be, but it's always a good practice to do this. Okay, now we're going to glue the skin on top of the wing, and making absolutely certain that we do not warp it. I'm going to use this glue. I like it, and I'm going to spread it using a disposable brush. I have already put some tape on the front, on the leading edge, that will hold the leading edge down, and I'm going to use clamps on the back. I've got pins ready to pin, and I have steel blocks ready to hold things down. So let's glue.